Schermo tutto. Questo devo
Qual
fare.
è? Keynote? Devi...
Sì.
Ok, allora questo. Aspetta, non l'hai cliccato. Ora, niente, vedono tutto, però quando apri la presentazione vedranno.
Ci siamo?
Vado a controllare che sia tutto ok.
Ok, iniziamo. Buonasera a tutti, welcome everybody. Questa sera lanciamo il Festival di Architettura Cosmo, che è un programma che è stato pensato assieme al Comune di Siracusa con il patrocinio del Ministero del Turismo e dell'UNESCO. Questo progetto è stato reso possibile grazie a Didier, che è un'azienda di immobili di pregio, e siamo oggi ospitati dall'Accademia Rosario Gagliardi e siamo anche all'interno del programma Made Labs. Il progetto, come dicevo, fa parte di un progetto ideato dal Comune di Siracusa Pantalica. È un progetto per la valorizzazione dei comuni a vocazione turistico-culturale ubicati nei siti riconosciuti dall'UNESCO e appartenenti alla rete delle città creative dell'UNESCO. I'm gonna split to English. I was going fast. Stavo andando un poco veloce perché volevo dare il prima possibile parola a Didier. Il progetto nasce da diciamo una presa di coscienza dell'incremento turistico della città di Siracusa, che rispetto al 2023, questi dati sono al 2024, c'è stato un incremento del quasi 10%. Tra l'altro, la maggior parte dell'incremento turistico è dovuto a visitatori stranieri, l'80% sono stranieri, quindi diciamo la volontà di questo progetto culturale era cercare di dare degli eventi alternativi per un pubblico più internazionale, anche di nicchia, in modo che anche i turisti stranieri trovassero a Siracusa, nel territorio di Siracusa e Pantalica, un'offerta culturale più internazionale, non dedicata ai progetti locali. Quindi questo è stato, diciamo, il punto di partenza del progetto. L'evento centrale del progetto è un festival di architettura. Che cos'è un festival di architettura? È diciamo, un evento che cerca di portare l'architettura all'esterno dei contesti specialistici. For this moment, I'm going to Italian because the text is in English, so you might read. Then we will split to English after this presentation. Parlo in inglese? Do you prefer in English? Okay, for me it's the same. So the aim of this festival was actually bring architecture out of the specialist context, trying to transforming some space that are neglected or not well, let's say, marked by the municipality or preserve, transforming these places that are unknown or partially unknown in a meeting place for designer, also citizen and new visitors. The festival will feature temporary installation, pavilions, and small events to rediscover these underappreciated places. These are just examples of other festivals around Europe. This is Concentrico Festival in Spain, in a city called Logroño, that every year, since now 10 years, they are basically bringing to the city a lot of designers and a lot of architects with this temporary installation that revive the place of the cities that are, let's say, not so used during the year or forgotten, etc. These are just a few pictures of the example. These are small installation, let's say, also not so expensive, but with this installation, they completely change the space around them. So the final aim is to activate, enhance, reinterpret the urban and natural heritage of the cities. How long does it last? This festival is going to be 5 years. Right now, we are planning, if everything goes well, 3 installations for years. So in total, 15 installations over 5 years. That will be every year designed by different architects or artists or creatives in general. What is the event? The event is the installation itself. So, of course, there will be some, let's say, occupation of the spaces with small event. But the event itself is the installation because this is the aim to trying to rediscover places with the installation and to bring people in places that normally are out of the tour of visitors. Why we already say to promote a new itinerary in other places and with telling a new contemporary and real story of the places. So the focus will be contemporary art, contemporary architecture, contemporary visions. So we also look at what is normally organized around Syracuse and Pantalic, and is normally every time focus on archaeological or site or, let's say, classical events, not so much looking at the contemporary. So that's why we try to shift the focus to a contemporary vision instead of having like more popular, let's say, for more open public and hopefully also to foreigners. This already we already say about. It was a bit the translation of what I say in Italian. The theme of this year is context. So we invite the creatives to engage with the territory, looking at the territory to the identity. So the territory will be not just the backdrop of the installation, but the integral part of the work itself. Today we are hosting the installation of Didier Faustino. That is one of the 3 creatives that we call this year. The installation is actually behind you. You probably have seen it. Didier will tell you more about the installation, but it's quite contextualized because he's telling a story about Sicily, he's telling a story about the territory, and is, let's say, very much linked to the context. I'm gonna briefly telling you the theme of the next 4 years. So in 2026, the theme will be content, so focus on the narrative. In 2027, the theme will be conditions. So the installation will look at the natural condition, political condition around, in general, everything is around the context as a condition, so not so much as a context. The 2028 will be connection theme. So the team will invite the creatives to foster connection and active engagement to the context. The last one, 2029, will be collaboration. So we hope will be a festival with collaboration between creatives, or not only creatives, let's say, from people that can tell a story together with the pavilions. So the creatives of this year are Fondamenta, that is a young Italian office that are based in Milan. They're actually doing a lot in the territory of Syracuse, so they know a lot about the context. and the installation that they design, it will be in Sortino, in a completely forgotten place, but beautiful and related to Pantalica. The second one will be Leopold Banchini, that is planning to make an installation very much related to the context, focus on the materiality of the context. This is Leopold, that you will see in the end of October, beginning of November. And the last one, and not the least, that is here today, is Didier Faustino, that is around you. So Didier is a Franco-Portuguese architect and artist. His work is very much related to the intersection of art, architecture, and design. Didier has been, the work of Didier has been exposed in many famous European museums, such as MAT, Centre Pompidou, Maxi in Rome, etc. He founded his office, Bureau de Mes Architecture, in Paris in 2002. And I'm glad to present you Didier. So just a warm welcome to Didier that we present first. So these are the date for the festival, from 26th of October to 9th of November. And if you want to look for more news, just follow the Instagram account, and you can look also at the website. Thank you, Didier, for being here.
Thank you.
Sorry for the trouble you have with your trip today, because you're supposed to arrive to Catania, you arrived to Palermo, so it was a long trip.
We experiment the idea of nomadism.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking time,
yes,
arriving at the right time, but with a unexpected. How can I connect it?
Yeah, the thing is that we are streaming from my computer. Roberta, if I switch to his computer, what's happening? Sorry? Also with the link? Okay, so can I give him the cable?
No.
Ah, yes.
We go on Zoom.
Okay, I can share the link. Did you have the link? No, no, già l'ho accettato perché già ero in streaming. L'ho accettato. Ah, ok, so you are there.
Ok, et comment tu lances le truc en direct avec, sans qu'on me voit?
Now it's you. Yeah.
So it's okay.
Tu mets ta présentation comme ça.
Ok.
Non sarei maintenant ainda
Ok. Vou explicar. Sim, sim, sim.
Ok.
Ok. Francesco, obrigado.
Yes.
Thank you for this invitation, this unbelievable opportunity to work on the topic. I mean, one of probably the most contemporary topic is about how we preserve, how we coexist, and how we produce new solutions. We try to invent situations or new tools for this world, who is probably going somewhere we don't know. I'm an architect, I'm an artist, I'm a designer. I'm just a person who like to question, not really to propose solutions, but more question the situation around and the context. And sometimes with my team, it's called the Bureau de Mes Architectures, Office for Miss Architectures. So the word speak by himself, Miss Architecture or Miss Adventures, about learning. It's about learning about things who go wrong and try to experience or to experiment new situations without judgment, without preconcept, without pre-ideas, just observe and see. This project for me is really important because it was a very beautiful proposal at the beginning. It was like to find a place where we can build a piece of architecture. I couldn't answer quickly to this question because I was visiting the sites, wonderful, beautiful places, also with some questions around. Came after a few weeks in Paris, this thing, we were in the studio in Paris and came this conversation. And now I'm missing one word was, my team was asking me, I mean, what I feel after my visit. And I couldn't answer really, but I remember I have in mind a video clip. I think it's still called like that, a film, a music film. And I don't remember the name of the realizator, of the guy who did this film, but you probably know the film. It's a song about Depeche Mode, and it's a guy going in the landscape, a king, alone, with his mirror, this kind of big cap and a thing, and he doesn't have a throne. He doesn't have nothing. He have just a stupid chair with fabric, and he sit on the landscape. And I was like having this feeling, I have the same situation. I visit so beautiful places, so interesting, so attractive. And I was like, I would like to be this king, this guy, alone, traveling, going around. And it's put me in syntonia, in kind of moment about what we live today with this idea of commons. We own this planet, we own many things, but we own nothing. So maybe at one end, we would like to be the kings, or we have this illusion we are the kings, we are the ones who own, but at the other hand, we own nothing, specifically our trajectories. So then we start to discuss about what will be an architecture in this case. And I arrive very simply with one word, was like, what will be the process? What will be, I would say, the protocol to own or to occupy. And I like simple reference, and I was remembering Andy Warhol and this thing about being a celebrity for 15 minutes. They say maybe we can be kings and own the territory for 15 minutes. And so we start to design an architecture to draw some ideas about an element we can carry, an architecture who became plainly nomad, who don't occupy the land, who just touch, can be put on every place we want, and can be occupied for 15 minutes or 1 minute or 10 minutes for each person arriving, and can sit and becoming the ones who have the view on something unique. So voilà. That's the story of the project. So the name came from all that. The filmmaker, I can't remember, and I can't remember the song by Depeche Mode. I think it's Enjoy the Silence. And that's probably, could be the name of this piece, Enjoy the Silence and Be Aware. The project is not totally finished because the point is the architecture is there, but then there will be the protocol, the way to carry it will be part of that. I want to carry architecture on my. There is also, I mean, Mediterranean, Sicilian, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, and where this idea of the procession, where once a year we carry something to celebrate, I don't know, the families, to celebrate religion, whatever. In my case, I will say I like the idea, and I was really touched when we come the first day was not in Syracuse, it was the city nearby, and Giancarlo take me to a church, and it was some contribution for the coming procession about the carpenters, I think, and I was super touched because this thing was also talking about what was the world before, and maybe I will not say what can be the world tomorrow, but there is some possibilities about coming back to this thing about not owning, but using the world around and moving. So an idea of more temporary occupancy of the land, of your planet, of my planet, of our planet. So, well, it comes, everything is related. I will try to show you, actually, Francesco asked me to present a bit projects or something about my work. It's quite difficult, actually. The 2 days I was a bit traveling, so I couldn't really. So I will make an improvisation. A project who is really close of this one on a different context, and it never, contrary to now, it never happens, who was a very famous, I mean, famous, not the word, but known system in France. I don't know if it will continue, but was called Fondation de France, who was a foundation, a kind of system where you can apply if you are a group of people and near your historical, social context, to ask some help to start projects, start revitalizing projects about a context specific. And a few years ago, I was called by this association of people and Fondation de France to design or to make to propose a project to revitalize or to help a village in France. Alors,
No, devi collegare lo schermo, devi collegare
I'm looking about FaceTime, Skype, Team. No, it's too much softwares. And,
Nicolò,
yes, Keynote.
Ok, e però gli devo dare il cavo.
Alors, this one. Vas-y.
Sorry, I don't speak French. Sorry.
Go.
What's duplicate?
This one?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool.
And then now, so just where that's thing. So I need to share. Is this one that you're gonna show?
For the moment, yes. Okay. Then I will present another one.
Okay, so then we will show.
Partagez.
Frenchy.
To rise.
Yeah.
Okay, so So this project was for a small town, and I mean a small village in Brittany, really in the area not far where was supposed to be les Gaulois, you know, Astérix, le Gaulois, Astérix Obélix village. And these people from this area in Brittany was suffering, not suffering, but having this big thing about rural exodus, where the village became abandoned and people leave the village. New generation don't stay, go to the city, and etc. And they were really concerned about this situation. And then they decide to make this group of people and to go to Fondation France to ask if maybe culture, art, architecture, whatever, can bring something to make an attraction for their place. This is it was 3 villages. The main one is this one, Plougonvert. And so the association of these retired people of Plougonvert, the mayor from this village, came to Fondation France, and Fondation France suggest to see an architect or somebody who is able to think about a large scale, not an artist only to make a piece on somewhere in the village, but to look around. And what was interesting on this area, what I was looking for was the memory of the area is a very flat area, and there is nearby the village, there is an interesting small mountain, which is supposed to be on Brittany, the highest mountain on the village, on this area. The name is Menez Kerspers, it's Britannic ways of speaking. And what I find interesting was clear ideas they have about make the people come and make something to talk about us. And in the summit of this hill, it was a tower of telecommunication, radio station or phones. And I was like, okay, you already have something with a place who can be the place of, let's say, distribution of communicating with outside. The point is to know what means to do something here. So what's the first thing? And they tell me that's strange because this place historically is the place of gibet since the medieval age and revolution was the place where all the area goes to hang up the criminals. And then I said, okay, and we talk a lot, and there was this rumor about also ovnis, satellites, bizarre people coming, aliens coming also on the top of this hill. So what we proposed them was on this place of the gibet, where all the people of the judgment, this hill of the judgment, where all the people on the area used to come to build a temporary station to have sharing common stories, food, talks, dance. And we propose just a platform because the budget was also micro budget. We have kind of stage for the people can sit and broadcast their talks, their discussions on the most beautiful place of the area, with on the ground floor of this telecommunication tower. The project don't go up. It was also a tribute to French philosopher Guy Debord about Société du Spectacle. And we take the name of the palindrome. I'm not sure, actually, we are in Italy, but the origin of this palindrome is supposed to come from a city, the city who disappeared after the volcano. And it was a kind of graffiti on the walls, who means in Jurumimus Nocte, we turn around during the night and the fire will burn us. Voila, sometimes very simple. It became very, very polemic project because the people want the project in the the thing on the area, but then the region authorities don't like the project because it became pollutive about protection of the area. But it was near something was also pollution. If we look about the basics, what's mean pollution is visually things. And then the politics change and the project disappeared. My second project I want to show you, it's one project with also a kind of similar condition, was a project for the Meudon house of a very famous French architect and artist who was the founder of Architecture d'Aujourd'hui, the French magazine, in the 50s, I think in the 50s. And so, merci Marie-Hélène. And André Bloch, who was the master of Jean Nouvel and the master of Claude Parent, built his own house, asked to Claude Parent to design a part of his house, and start to be a sculptor, doing object architecture as a sculpture, and to build, that was my proposal, and to build this habitat was in process sculpture. Actually, this one is very famous. It's the one in the scene of Who Are You, Miss Polymago, the movie, and there is some fashion in this very famous area. And the owners today about this park of sculpture asked me to make a new one, a specific sculpture for the space. And it was quite complicated for me because I couldn't do nothing on this so heavy context. So what I proposed was to very, very provocative to say, let's put fire on it and let's see. So what we propose is just to build, actually André Bloch used to build with earth block, and I propose to build a space for performance, a space for events with concrete blocks, kind of 50 years after, to do an empty space at the entrance of the garage. And that's the proposal with a song. I was talking about some musics, Depeche Mode and Enjoy the Silence. It could be Enjoy the Silence, but I prefer to call it by a song by Peel Public Image Limited, who is called This Is Not a Love Song. Voilà. What I would like to say to you, and it's probably the conclusion about personal kingdom, the proposal here for the festival is we are probably, without knowing, zombies looking for freedom. Even societies try to avoid our desire of freedom. We still need freedom. We still need free trajectories, the freedom of going where we want. And so in this case, these beautiful sites you are here around are places where we need to go there. So this project is a proposal to be free to go everywhere and to put architecture without perturbing, without touching, just to maybe kiss the beauty of the others. Merci. Voilà.
There is some question from the public, from you.
I can show you something else. Actually,
Yeah.
I forget one thing.
Get one.
I
Okay.
forget one thing with our last project. I would like to conclude about maybe doing architecture less and less invasive, more and more social involvement about our case, about habitat, big gestures, big things, no more, maybe
Can you also show the process of the pavilion?
No, I
No.
don't prepare it.
You don't prepare, but the one that you would share with me, just those few images,
This is not my computer.
but I have it.
You have it? I can
Yes.
share. Okay.
Well, but before you want to show. the
Well,
other
I just
project?
want to
Yeah,
show
because-
you one
yeah.
image about. It's a project we just finished last year. It was also the idea of an habitat. It was also about carrying the architecture, our own architecture, our own protection. I don't know what it's mean, if it's an idea coming from Platon or something else. But architecture will become part of our body, or our body in symphony or in symphony. I'm trying to remember the word in English, with our body. And this project is called Canary in the Coal Mine. And it's part of a project which is called Exploring Dead Buildings, and trying to find ideas, possibilities about dead architecture to revitalize what is this idea of dead, and to try to make through artifacts. We design just the artifact to explore this dead, what's mean dead architecture. Could be just an exploration about a ruin. I don't know the word in English, but voila. So it was in 2023, we built this cabin, this object with a house, a cage for a small bird, a canary. And because this part of the world maybe was something, we have the instinct about something is coming on. The world will change probably. We don't know still what's going on, but many things will change. And we have this word, this expression, canary in the coal mine, means something will happen. It came from the miners who go on mines, who use birds on cage when the air became rare and the bird collapsed. So the people can, seeing the bird collapsing, knows there is a danger coming. So something will come. I will take no conclusion of that. I will go fast about, there is no sound. C'est pas grave. A view on Beirut. And we explore a building, very beautiful building design, who is part of the story of Beirut, who was designed for a company of design, Inter Design, and it's the father, Khoury, the father of Bernard Khoury, who was this famous engineer, architect, designer, who built the building, but just before he started to make the showroom for the company as an architect, just before the Civil War, and he finished the building after it. So it takes 20 years to do complete the building. And for the small story, the building, he make a collapse. This company, comment on dit? Bankrupt. So the banks take the building. So he never used the building. So it's not a dead building. The building is still there, but it's without use. So we want to make that there with the small birds. There is no sound, but there is the sound of Beirut and the bird singing. Voilà.
Maybe yes, we switch to my computer.
You want the cable? Ah, we have some sound. Good.
Pass the cable here.
Yeah, I explained before, this first ideas came from exploring, being nomad, an architecture who is not having no footprint. Also from some very simple inspiration where we became king of the world in our exercise. So we move the energy, we go on the landscape, the processions, this moment of fervor, of where we are all together, how an architecture can go. And then voilà. It's quite advanced. It's not the first drawings. It's already. Well, okay, the flags are not. And the cabin's open, and we put Trump on it. Just to being a bit relative. You don't recognize him, but it's him. Because it was this thing about relative moments where you are alone and you own, maybe you own everything, but you are also alone. And what I didn't expect, actually showing it, because the materials at the beginning, we were not on this quality of material, all natural materials and the vannerie kind of things, reveals also something about the fragility of our own humanity, our own being, where even the architecture cannot protect really our fragility, but gives us this moment of kindness, moment of warmness when the architecture encloses our bodies. So it was also to experience that. So voilà, the different places. Voilà.
I just want to add something because this came from a conversation that we had, and we have some limitation on building a pavilion inside archaeological places. So we asked to the heritage, we asked to the forestale, we asked to the mayor. I mean, every time we were asking, there was a lot of uncertainty. So basically discussing with Didier, he came out with this movable pavilion. So we didn't have the constraint to be in an archaeological site, because maybe we will be allowed to enter in the archaeological site, but maybe we will go out. So that was the idea.
That was,
so,
the context was
yeah.
also this one.
Yeah.
Yes, this legality to obtain the right to occupy. And if you occupy a few seconds, if you build something with occupying the space for a few minutes, few seconds, okay.
Yes. So it was a way to go around to all the limitation that we had, because the project, as we know, it's a project from the municipality of Syracuse, but there are a lot of entities that they are involved, and the territory is big. There are other town halls, so we were not free to move. But still, we wanted to be in the territory of Syracuse and Pantalica in this case. That is out of Syracuse, so it's another town or another municipality. So that was the way. Also, we respond to the context, and I think it was a great solution, because we had not this limitation anymore. We are free.
We are everywhere.
Yes, we are everywhere. Well, ultimately, I just want to say thank you to the people that host us tonight, that is made program. Alessandro Montel, in particular, it was super nice to host this event today. And during the Made Labs, it is actually something that we start together. So we were also happy to be inside their program. So thank you, Alessandro. I said before, but I want to repeat because it's important for us. And yes. Sure.
When I was looking at your project now, it reminded me of the prehistory and the evolution of humankind, because before we invented agriculture, we were all nomads in Europe and Africa as well. And somehow the beauty, I like this project a lot. Somehow the beauty of this project is that it's temporary, but somehow also permanent, because it has some heaviness. And when it stops, it has the power to create new events on the territory. So it's I think the beauty of the project relies on the fact that it's temporary, but when standing allows for a temporary occupation. And so it's I go back to always this fact that whenever I look at their projects, I think they are very radical, and I think they are provocative. We talked about this, but also primitive. Is this something you are looking for, to be more and more primitive in the way that answers somehow philosophical questions and reflects on the condition of what are we doing here, what are we doing here now, and answering to the condition of the events that are going on? Is it political? Are your projects political? Do you have this in mind, or they are anyway political? Because they are architecture.
The only answer came to me, it's they are idiot. And idiotic situations reveals a lot of situations around. So I like this word. I like the word primitive. I could have this idea of actually primitive and was the word, something really upset me many times. An interesting thing with this: how can we arrive to something with so true, carrying so the truth of the essence of what is living, what is even the world home or a place. That's the primitive and the first moment where you need to be protected. Who built it? So yes, I'm attracted by that. But I think more, if I look about my work and the work I do with Marie-Hélène Fabre, who is here, where I got a very long discussion today about what we do. It's probably about being a bit naive, a bit primitive, is doing with what we have surrounding. So when we have political issues, social issues, I guess when you produce, what we try to produce on this case is simple situations who are able to not subvert. I heard a lot people saying you are a subversive person because you do things who are not authorized or blah, blah, blah. I'm just an idiot who like to make questions about things I don't understand. So if these subjects are idiotic or maybe primitive in a way, c'est chouette. It's really good, because it's not anymore myself. If they have the power to question or to generate question about a situation, I think it's good. That's not anymore my project or our project when we something else. So that's the point for me, really. And I think primitive, when you look about tools of humanity, these periods are you do what with what you question the quality of the material, you question the everything, and you experience, and then you keep something to share with the others. When you start to keep the things only for you, that's became another story. So the cueilleurs, the ones who were before, I mean, this world, there is this beautiful text about les chasseurs and les cueilleurs, who are the ones before the nomads before sedentarity, were the ones who never stay, just follow. And the other ones, the ones who decide to stay and to generate the societies where you keep profit from the others. I will make no comment, but voilà. I quite like the primitives ones, the ones who were going from one place and explore and go from one place to the other ones. Right.
Some other questions?
So the next step is also to write a bit the idea of the procession.
Yeah.
Will
Yes.
be you have a big question where what will be the dress of the ones who carry no dress, a dress. There is something who unify them, or they come from diversity and we don't care. It was the flag also. What's mean the
Yes.
flag? So for now, we decide no flags because we don't need to claim something. And the dress, I have this fantasy about the dress. With a dress who will be an uniform, who can erase some difference. But I'm not sure that.
Yes. I mean, the flag, when you show the project, the flag that were there, for me, it reminds me this kind of flags that you have in the procession.
Yeah.
Because they're actually there. So it was very much related because it's something that I immediately relate to.
An element of identity.
Yes, exactly.
I think no identity.
No identity. Okay.
No land, no claim, nothing. Voilà.
Okay.
And who would be carried and who would carry?
I need to find people. I think the protocol will not be, the protocol will be open and somebody goes there, not to be carried. Also because I think it's really heavy with one person more inside. But no, I like to think about the protocol to going, just the procession to go and install and to choose the right place, and then you open and you allow the people to come. Right. No kings. Ben voilà, on va boire des verres alors. Let's celebrate.
Okay.
Merci. And the blue one, bravo.
Maybe you can rest. Thank you. Okay.